Hey everybody. Yes, I'm disgusting right now, but I want to get a video in today, and this is probably about the only time I have. I've been working in the yard, planting a bunch of new trees, and it's 100 degrees. So forgive me. I don't walk around like this usually, but it is what it is. If it grosses you out, I apologize. Come back for the next video. Yeah, it's freaking hot. I just planted a bunch of aspen trees because I've got a few of my big trees dying over the last few years, which hurts my heart. I planted everything in this yard, everything. And it's pretty cool and pretty private. You know, it's not huge, but it's a decent sized yard and we love it. We got a patio right here, hot tub over here, and we spend a ton of time back here. So I'm kind of proactively planting a bunch of trees in the hope that if these die, I've got some kind of in their place. Of course, they won't be nearly as big, and it'll take till I'm dead to be as big, but so be it. So today's subject, tackfulsis el tobacco. And if you subscribe, follow, like, watch, comment, share, I appreciate it very much. Norwegian Arnold, it's on TikTok as well. I've got a link tree on the profile there, so you can get to it easy. That's kind of a different thing, just fun singing, lip syncing. So today, the subject, I've been thinking about this. This is something that comes into my mind a lot. The Holy Ghost, and I'm not talking just as a past Mormon here. I'm talking more as a spiritual / Christian / believer, if you want to call me that. I mean, I've said many times, my church is nature. When I was home in Norway for the last couple of weeks, you can't get more church than that. When I was up on Prekestolen and looking out at that fjord from 2,000 feet up, there's no church that can give me what that gives me. So, yeah, I was just looking at myself. I'm like, that's really gross. But hey, you know what? This is a real channel. I don't edit. I don't have a script. I just fly by the seat of my pants. Very just off the top of my head. And if that works for you, great. And if it doesn't, I get it. You know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I try to be friendly and nice to everybody. Even if you leave me nasty comments, sometimes I'll say, hey, I hope you find peace or whatever. Back to the subject. This is a very kind of subjective thing to me, as opposed to objective, because I think everybody experiences this in a different way. Maybe we have similar feelings in the way that it comes to us, but there's people that call it your conscience or your soul or the universe talking to you or the Holy Ghost or the Spirit or God or Jesus or whatever religion you believe in. And I have definitely had many experiences in my life where something outside of me, something external, spoke to me. I don't know that that's the right word, because usually it's more of a feeling. You know, when I go see one of my granddaughters get blessed in the Mormon church, I feel it. Does that mean I'm going back to that church? No, it doesn't, because I feel it lots of other places too. But I definitely feel it there. It's a very sacred, spiritual thing, and I dig it. When I was up on Prekestolen last week, you know, up a beautiful sunny day in Norway, just packed with people, everybody's loving life. I felt it. When I was on the cruise on the fjord going below Prekestolen, I felt it. And I've done a couple of videos. If you're curious about seeing that, go check them out, please. When I was on my mission, let's kind of talk about that for a minute. Because I do remember times, and I'm working my way through my mission journals. I haven't read since before Norway now, so it's been a couple of weeks. But it's kind of shocking. It's almost like reading somebody else's life, which, I don't know, it's kind of disturbing and kind of cool at the same time, because you forget so much of your freaking life, all the days we live. There are moments, I don't know about you, but for me, there are moments I remember here and there, you know, special moments, some random moments. It's just, why do I remember this, you know? And as I'm reading through those journals, I'm finding a lot that I remember the feelings. I remember the overall feel of the mission those first few months. But I didn't realize how acute those feelings were. Once I got past the really struggling part of that mission, and that was the first, well, let's say 3 or 4 months in country. I was with that first companion for 5 months. I didn't like him. He didn't like me. I tried to be nice to him, by the way. From the start, I was genuinely friendly and nice, and he just cold-shouldered me for weeks until I had had enough, and I gave him a piece of my mind. I came from a place in a town, in an era where, you know, I've said it before, fighting was a thing. And not in a name somebody kind of way, but you stood up for yourself. And I finally had had enough. And I never did anything physical to him. I just said that enough is enough. This is going to change. And it did get better our last month and a half or so, but I was so glad to move on. So once I got past that, those first few months that were just a struggle, so depressing, so sad, one of the lowest points of my life, then it got better. I would never say, in fact, I shocked people when I gave my talk in church when I got home, which you do when you come back from your mission. You know, usually it's 2 years. Mine was 1.5 years. You know, it's very common to say, best 2 years of my life, best 2 years of my life. And I always kind of felt like a lot of guys just said that because they were expected to say that. And I did not say that when I came back and gave my talk. One of the first things I said was, you know, everybody says this is the best 2 years or 1.5 years of your life. It wasn't for me. It was a struggle. It was hard. It was rewarding. And I'm glad I went. And a lot of people in the congregation appreciated that honesty. There were a few that were shocked. There were a few that kind of offended. And that's on them. That's not on me. It was my experience. I was there to tell about it. And I did. And I told a lot of cool stories of things that happened. But like I said, once I got past that first companion, I did have moments where I felt something. I have a moment, and I don't know if it's real or not. You ever look back on memories and think, did that happen? Did it happen to me? Did it happen to a friend? I have this moment I think is real. If it's real, I certainly don't want to deny it, because I remember praying, and it was about some woman that was going to be baptized. And I was praying about whether she was going to accept. And I swear I heard a voice in my head saying yes. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, there you go. That's the truth. You got your answer. I look at it this way. I know some of you don't like the Mormon church. Some of you think it's a cult. Hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't look at it that way. There are things I don't like about it. There are things that happened that I don't appreciate, but overall, good experience, good people, good religion. I don't think it's the only good religion on earth. I say it all the time. If you believe in some higher power and you don't hurt other people, then hey, more power to you. If you're in a religion where you hurt people, I can't go along with that. I think that's horrendous, and that's just my belief. I think we're all put on this earth to make choices, and some people choose to hurt people. That's not the way I choose to live my life. Sorry, it is very hot out here. So yes, I did feel something. I did maybe even hear something. And it was very cool. I didn't have a lot of those on my mission. I had a few times where I felt warm. You know, if you're familiar with the church, this is the one I need to do a video on its own, and that's Fast and Testimony meeting. And a lot of you are probably saying, a what and what meeting? I get it. It's basically one Sunday a month. I think it's the first Sunday of the month, where during sacrament meeting, which is the main, everybody's together in the same congregation. Anybody can give up They pass you the mic, or you can go up front and you can give your testimony, your belief. And most of the time, for me, it was just like blah, 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 blah. In fact, there were people that would get up every single month, just checking my sprinkler, every single month, and almost verbatim give the same thing they said month after month after month. That's not coming from the heart, in my opinion. I don't want to judge those people because I don't know what's in their heart, but to me, it came across as just rote. You know, it's just doesn't mean anything. So, where was I? I got distracted there. Another subject for another day. So yeah, it's definitely real. It's something I have felt many times. In fact, many times since I've left the church. I don't feel the need, and I've said this many times, I don't feel the need to sit in a pew and listen to some, I was talking about fast and testimony, what do you mean? I've had times where people got up and you could tell it was sincere and from the heart, and sometimes they'd cry and the emotions would come out and you would feel it. You could feel it inside you. And call that what you want. The Holy Ghost, the Spirit, just a good feeling, your conscience, you know, saying this is a good thing. Whatever you want to call it. For me now, it's more of a, I do feel it like it's kind of a religious, not a religious, a spiritual thing. When I feel that, I felt it in Norway. My family, you know, 2 of my kids and my wife, we all went and we were close. There was no arguing or bickering. It was just this pleasant, beautiful time, and I felt it a lot. When I got around my relatives that I haven't seen in years, 15 years, sometimes 30, sometimes 40. And connected, I had that warm, fuzzy feeling, you know. I see my wife and kids when I've been on the road for 3 weeks, and I come home and hug everybody. I get it. So I think, I really think it's an individual thing for everybody. And if you're Mormon, you call it the Holy Ghost, and that's cool. I got no problem with that. I got a freaking gutter that's busting. Dang, yard work is nonstop. Squirrel. I know, I do it. By now, if you watch me a while, you know I kind of all over the place. But I'm looking forward to reading your comments on this one, because I think it's all over the place, depending on who you are, where you live, how you grew up. Are you in a religion? Are you not in a religion? Because I think you can be an atheist and feel that, and I don't know what you would call it. If you're an atheist and you're watching this, hey, respect. I got no problem with that. Do you get those feelings? Do you feel that? And what do you call it when that happens? I say it all the time. I would never try to push somebody to believe something I believe. You know, we tried to raise our kids a certain way, but once they became adults, it's their choice. They get to choose how they want to live. So you try to steer them in the right path and hope they stick on the right path from my point of view. But looking forward to reading the comments. I got to finish doing my yard work so I can go take a shower, because I don't like being like this, but I figured there's no point in showering, coming and doing the video, going and working again, and then showering again. So that'd be a 3rd shower in a day. That's too many. So I will, it's almost football season, by the way. If you're not aware, and if you're still watching, I'm done the main part of the video. I'm just rambling a little bit now. I am a huge BYU Cougar fan. I graduated from BYU. That's my alum. I'm an alum of there. My alumni, that's how you say it, right? And they had a really good season last year. They finished, I think, ranked 13th in the country. They should have been in the playoff, in my opinion, not just mine, a lot of people. And they've got a lot of good players coming back. We did lose a couple of big ones, but that starts here in a couple weeks. And college football is my thing, man. I dig it. I have so much fun with it. So when that starts, we'll start talking a little pigskin. Not a lot. I used to be a sports nut. Saturday, Sunday, all day long was college football and NFL. And NBA when Stockton and Malone were here. I watched almost every game. So much fun. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Hope we're going to have a really good year. I don't know, I'm getting all these messages coming in. And we'll talk more about that in the future. But I am going to do a video about fast and testimony meeting, because I'm guessing there's a lot of you don't have a clue what that is, and might be curious to hear it. So have a good one. We will talk again soon. Thank you so much for watching. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. I am humbled by the fact that you would take a few minutes of your time to spend with me. So I hope you have a beautiful, fantastic day. I mean it when tack för sist, or tack för denna gång. Men snackas igen snart. I mean it. Peace. Love.